Tale of two halves. I think it's the game's so fickle, and when you don't show up and play it in competition the right way with the energy and the mental approach, and it gets to be a real struggle. And give Roger and his crew ton of credit. I mean, we heard them in the locker room before the game. They were tearing it up, and they came out and just punched us. I thought their two wings, Edwards and Stafford, were both terrific. They did it in some different ways. Obviously, Stafford got cooking, but we were really flat with our switches. We weren't talking. There was no energy. There was no life, which is disappointing because we had two really good days of practice. But really happy for Justin. And I thought Justin had a really good night. He gave up a back cut late, but 9.7 rebounds. I thought it was great to see TJ become effective on the glass. We've been talking about that. I thought Luke was terrific. Other than a couple missed free throws, but again, it was. I thought Dane's definitely his best game of the year, but his impact in the paint was huge for us. We've got to keep working and trying to get him comfortable at the free throw line. But he did some things tonight, just sealing bodies and doing things that were impactful, allowed us to get downhill. And then, TJ just turned it up second half. I mean, TJ defensively was did what a veteran should do, and that's on him to make sure we do that at the start. We really haven't had a half like that. We fought foul trouble. We're top 10 in the country in fewest fouls, and tonight we fouled a bunch, and had some different lineups out there, but was really proud of our guys the second half, and we came out with a different energy, and that was really the key to the game.
Brad, Terrence doing a two-way thing, but obviously you want him to do that, but are you concerned at all, or is that what you need out of him? Like, is that a lot to put on his shoulders, or is that
Not at all. We play the game of basketball, it's two sides. I think in high school basketball, guys who score a lot usually are the team's worst defenders. That doesn't work in college. And it was more how he got his points. We really didn't run very much to him. He got him in transition. He got him because he got on the glass and started fast breaking. I've been all over him about just running when he doesn't have the ball. So we didn't have to run a ton to him tonight. It was more how he got it. But I've said he's defensively he's the elite premier defender. In college basketball, I haven't seen anything like him. And he turned it up at halftime, and I think Stafford had two with 3 or 4 minutes to go. But changed the whole momentum of the game, and I think they had a .4 DER the second half, which is outstanding and more like where we've been.
Coach, you went pretty deep into the bench in the first half. Was that the foul trouble, or were you looking for a spark? Or?
I was looking for anybody that had a flicker of light, not just a spark. Nico's been really good in practice. I thought Nico's speed and I thought his tempo offensively helped us. We turned down layups in the first half, trying to be a great teammate, and and we finally started getting the ball to Dane a little bit and got us going. But I thought our bench was really solid, and it's nice to have the ability to be able to go to those guys.
Brad, with Dane, is there anything in his form from a free throw that needs to change, or anything you guys are working on with him to try to get a better result there?
It's really complicated. It's not an easy fix. And, you know, Dane, if anybody ever saw him in high school, Dane, everybody knows Dane was a great shooter. You know, he could really shoot it. And, you know, he had a broken foot, and it changed some mechanical things for him he's had to struggle with. And so it's a, you know, Dane played on the perimeter. I mean, he was an elite three-point shooter. And, you know, the broken foot, it's been well documented in some different cases with people, but it's a challenge with him. And so he's got to get comfortable. You know, it's just a little bit of confidence, but it is there's some other things there.
Yeah, Brad, I see Justin Harmon had 9 rebounds tonight. It seems like has a knack for getting really tough rebounds in traffic, even with his size. Did you see that when you recruited him? Or?
He is always around the ball. I love Justin Harmon and Justin's growing in terms of, you know, I love him on the ball. I love his tenacity. The ball finds him. He's got really strong hands. So when he gets the ball in his hands, nobody's going to take it, even if they're bigger. You know, he's going to be a huge part of what we do, and there's a lot of comfort because he's learning a different defensive concept than what he's played. You know, like one of the things that I enjoy about him is that he is working really hard at it. And you know, like I said, I told all of our guys, I said, I don't care who scores. We're going to find ways to score, and it'll be a little bit of everybody. But you know, on the defensive side, that's where we've got to hang our hat, and Justin's doing a great job there.
Been a few slow starts. I mean, is there anything that you're seeing that's the same that's going to be leading to that?
I don't know. I liked the 30-point second half. You know, I don't know, maybe I need to do a better job of rah-rahing them up in the locker room before the game. You know, finding an energy. I thought we were, I don't know, we'll look at it. I don't know. I don't have a great answer for you. I don't like them. You know, really since, you know, maybe Kansas exhibition, we got off to a pretty decent start there, but yeah, we'll see.
Brad, it looked like Coleman was getting treatment on his knee after practice yesterday. Is that what held him out? Could you just update us on his status?
It's day to day. It's been an aggravating thing for him with some, I don't know what the right term is, basically some form of tendinitis, but it causes some swelling and some aggravation, and we know we need to get him healthy. So you know, we'll reevaluate that stuff day to day, and you know, at this point in time, it's he's a huge loss. There's no doubt, but we also need him 100% healthy.
Is what you see from Dane in the last couple of days to go from 3 minutes, or I think it was against Marquette, to this role? Like, how did he kind of stay ready to contribute like that?
Well, one, Coleman's injury. I mean, his minutes were going to go way up, but you know, he's proven he's done it before. And you know, I was not very happy with him in the Marquette game, and you know, so he and I had a pretty lengthy conversation. And but Dane is a terrific young man. He's very conscientious, and you know, we pretty good idea his opportunity was going to be called. He's just stepped up to the challenge and just really performed at a pretty high level.
Brett, I don't know how much you know Roger, how well you know Roger, but what do you make of him as a young head coach? And obviously, Milana great here. What do you think of his career moving forward?
Well, career as a player speaks for itself. Unfortunately, that doesn't carry over to the sideline, but he's well on his way. And I think one of the things that being with Coach Few, he's been with really good coaches. I think he's very comfortable in trying to play the way they're playing, very fast. That'll be fun for the recruits in that process to want to enjoy playing that way. And again, it's a big jump moving overseas, but you know, he's well on his way. He's been around really good people, And, you know, I was impressed with, you know, the way they came out and played, and for year one, you know, I say this all the time with young coaches, it's about 18 months you start to find out. And, you know, when you've got to lead and go through hardship, and not everybody's supporting you or helping you, and media's on you, and blah, 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 you gotta, that's when you find out kind of who you are. But I think he's got tremendous character and passion, and, you know, he's always been a good recruiter, so I would expect him to get really good players.
Coach, Monty gave some really solid minutes there in the first half. Could you just kind of give us your impressions of him early on in his development?
Yeah, I'm a big Amani fan. He just does everything right. I don't have to coach him on where to be, on technique, and he's been extremely well coached in high school. So he does almost everything right. Now he's just trying to figure out how to score, you know, against the size, and he gets offensive rebounds, he wedges, he does all the little things, you know, trying to play in ball screens, you know, much more so at this level than he did in high school, and it's just different. So, but he is a rock solid performer every single day in practice, and like I said, his growth is continuing to we see it every day.
All right.
See you Sunday.
That's right.